So if you missed the tweet that I posted yesterday, thank Christ I actually took the weekend off of recording this game, because I woke up on Saturday morning with a gut about as crook as that of a dog's. It was bloody terrible. Nothing terrible actually came of it, probably just due in part to willpower and the fact that I was able to just lay on my back and alleviate some of the bloody icky feeling in my freaking gut, but thankfully I was able to just get through by drinking a whole bunch of lemonade and some kind of just get some more electrolytes and hydrate myself. So now that's out of the way, the results are in, and with the total of 50% of the votes, the power plant has won the vote, so I'm going to be doing that in this segment. It is a relatively short dungeon though, so there's going to be a couple of things that I want to fit into this segment as well, just for some padding. The first one is here. If I talk to this dude in Silvco, he will give you a gift in the form of an upgrade. This upgrade is very relevant to my interests right now. I just went and did some Voltorb flip over the weekend as well. Got myself up to, I think, 9,500 coins. And I'm about to spend some of those coins, and I'm going to get a couple of Porygons. Because there's no other way I can actually get Wild Porygon, and obviously there's no way I can get Porygon 2 other than just to evolve one. So here I get to show off the trade bag dude in a... I think he's in somewhere in the Celadon department store. So I've freed up a couple of slots in my party. And check to see if it's shiny. No, it's not. Oh, what? Nope, nope. We don't want... Nope. I do not want a Heracross. I want another Porygon. Thank you. And that should be about it. Let me actually check to see if the other Porygon is shiny. Looks like they don't scale with your badges, so you'll just get them at level 5 regardless. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, okay, so this first one that we got here is going to be the one that evolves into a Porygon 2. So we'll head down to the bottom of the pack here, give it the upgrade. Also, that HP up, I found out that there are some trainers in this game that you get their phone number and you rebattle them again, and they'll just give you vitamins. You got a HP up from Youngster Joey, which, having had a bit more of a research into, like, just random little features of this game on the Shockslayer website, I found out that if you rebattle him with 16 trainers, he's apparently, like, broken as shit. Or just, like, I don't know. It suggests that you rebattle him when you have 16 badges, so... I don't know what the hell I'm going to be in for there, but I'm going to assume that this is the NPC dude. Yep, this is what we want. Yep, we're going to do that. I have no idea how this actually works. I'm going to assume that it's just either you trade the thing to the dude and he just trades me, I guess, just whatever it evolves into. Okay, I guess he's just sending the exact same Porygon back to me, which will then evolve because it was technically traded. I guess that works. Does it run off a unique OTN ID, or is it mine? No, it's mine. That's pretty cool. I kind of like the way that works. Just the interesting way that thing's being coded. Also, loud and obnoxious kids. We got to put up with them for the rest of the week. So, if you hear any weird freaking blood-curdling screams, it's probably just them fighting each other or some shit. I don't know. I'm going to try my best to ignore it. It didn't seem to be picked up in the last few segments in which I had to deal with kids. Okay, so that's Porygon and Porygon 2 added to the collection. The reason I went and got 2 of them is because I'm strongly considering just going back on my claim that I was not going to do a living dex and actually doing a living dex. If I decided to, I actually have gotten one of the more RNG heavy goals out of the way, which I'll show off here when I drop these Porygon Mons off. Oh yeah, they're actually right here. Yeah, I got 2 Pupitar's. Now, if you're wondering where the hell I got these 2 Pupitar's, you actually can find them in regular Crystal. There's only one place you can find it though. You have to go to the summit of Mount Silver. You can only go there during the daytime, not even just the morning, but just the, like, not even the morning time, but just the day. And you can just, yeah, only at the summit. It has a 1% chance of being encountered. So you can imagine that finding these two was a bit obnoxious for me. Except for some reason, it just wasn't. I'm not too sure if the hacker increased the rate at which you can find these, or if I just got really lucky with RNG, but I managed to find the first one of these after about a dozen encounters, and then the second one came in about 3 or 4 encounters after that. So I have these Pupitas out of the way. They are level 20, so the one that I choose to evolve is going to have to be raised a whopping 35 levels to evolve, but it'll be worth it. I mean, I'm probably going to grind this thing all the way up to maybe about level 40 and then rare candy the rest of the way. I don't think that that'll take a hugely long amount of time. Picked up a Donphan from Route 45. I'm a choke from the second floor of Mount Mortar, specifically the room that you access by using Waterfall. And then a Kingler, which I grabbed with the Super Rod in Cherry Rock Grove City. So I believe that's about everything I want to show off here. Actually, there is one more thing. It's very, very stupid, but it's well worth showing off because of just how dumb it is and just sort of the novelty of it. And freaking loud as obnoxious kids in the background. They might actually get picked up because this is the loudest they've been since, you know, shit went down at their place and, like, cancerous existences just got forced out of our family and shit. I won't go into too much detail on that, but let me just get the rest of my team in here for the time being. And the next location I want to visit, this just ensures I don't have to run through a rock tunnel instead of just as padding. So this is actually just far more interesting than just running through a place that requires flash, which I do have on Salt Ferry. I actually got rid of Attract because about 90% of the Pokemon that I have fought in this game have been males, and because Salt Ferry is a male, I've not had any opportunity to use Attract. I think I may have only used it once in this entire playthrough, and I taught it pretty much as soon as I got it from Whitney, who was the first gym leader I knocked over. So, our next port of call is Vermilion City, because it also suggested various things. So, well, it suggested a thing in particular which you might, if you put 2 and 2 together, you'll probably have worked out where I'm actually going. But if we go down here, and we jump on here with the surf, there's just this random little opening. And if we go in here, there is just a gigantic, just this, whatever the hell this is. And then there's just a truck. So, I bet you've worked out what we're going to be doing with this truck. Yep. So you move the truck, but you do not get a Mew. Instead, it brought up that line of dialogue, and if you look inside the Pokedex, Mew has been registered as seen in the Pokedex. You may think this is useless, but it turns out Mew is actually, at some point in the game, released as a roamer that runs around Kanto. So having triggered this means I don't have to run around like blind as a bat trying to find the damn thing when I can just easily locate it. And just to establish that it hasn't been released yet, it is nowhere to be found. So that's something useful for later on. And technically speaking, I could go and get Suicune right now if I wanted to. But obviously I'm not going to do that. I might do that next segment or something like that. But I definitely like to at least catch one legendary of some variety. And on the subject of legendaries, it's brethren in the form of Raikou and Entei. I went out and actually found those over the weekend. They are both currently sitting on a sliver of health. I'm strongly considering buying some fastballs. You can actually buy them from a dude in Kurt's house in Azalea Town. They do cost 1,500 though. But to their credit, they actually have been fixed. They were originally bugged in that they would only work on 3 specific Pokemon, that being Tangela, Grimer, and Magnemite, when they were supposed to work on anything that was able to flee, which involved those 3 plus a whole bunch of other mons like Grimer and Snubble and Quagsire and just a whole bunch of other stuff. Apparently the legendary birds are on that list, but I imagine those have had their coding changed up just to ensure that they don't just automatically run away after the first turn of the battle. But yeah, it only works on those 3. But thankfully that has been fixed, as well as the other 2 Pokeballs apricorn balls rather that have been glitched. Those two in particular are the Moon Ball, which is supposed to work on anything that is part of an evolution line involving a Moonstone, which basically in this game means Jigglypuff, Nidoran male, Nidoran female, and Clefairy, but it just doesn't work on anything at all, and it's just a regular Pokeball that costs more and has a funky design on it. Also, having a look at these rock formations, I'm starting to get a Primarina vibe from them. It's like I'm seeing Primarina's... It very much looks like Primarina's head with just its gigantic nose standing out. Well, I mean, it's commentary at least. This has been the best... This has been the absolute best effort I've put in for commentary so far in this entire playthrough, so I'm not going to complain about it. I could actually put up a Repel here, because a lot of these lower level Pokemon are Pokemon that I've already caught, whereas something like Raichu is like level 36, so I'd be able to Repel Trick for those very easily. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put Advent forward up to the front. We're going to throw Save State in slot 3, because as you might expect, there are indeed... Wild Voltorbs and Electrodes being disguised as Item Balls. Now these guys work kind of similarly to the old Trap Voltorbs in the old Team Rocket hideout, in that you just straight up can't escape from them. So here I pretty much just have to go take the tackle to the face and then hopefully one-shot this thing with Return. From there I have to hope I get enough experience off of it, and I get more than enough. That is awesome. This is the reason I didn't raise my team to anything above level 33, because this is, for this particular team, the last evolution. And once again, completely forget to do that. Hold up. There we go. That did not work out quite as well as I would have liked, but whatever, it's fine. I now have a Dugong. I have a Dugong lid. Dugong is under attack by the evil forces of Zelda. Something along those lines. But let's have a look at this stat boost. And let's have a look at that hideous party sprite. That thing looks like it's been on drugs. Seriously, that thing looks like it's been on crack. Alright, yeah, decidedly better. I mean, it's not a huge improvement, but it was definitely well needed. So... I don't actually remember if I mentioned that I gave this thing Return, but yeah, I gave it Return. Because I actually don't think I even showed off having it not having rest. That's okay for a back sprite. I mean, it's a slightly phallic, but eh. But yeah, this is literally the only reason you want to go in this direction, is to grab this Thunderstone, and even then, you can apparently find Jolteon and Raichu in this dungeon. Like, I know you can find Raichu, because I have encountered it before. I'm not too sure about Jolteon. It's probably a very specific time of the day. So, now that's out of the way, and we have a fully evolved team. We'll just put Kalima up front, because it's currently holding the Smoke Ball. And sadly, the Smoke Ball doesn't even stop me from being unable to escape the Voltorbs and stuff like that, like the Item Ball Voltorbs in particular. So, that's obnoxious, because now I've got to switch out and go into Stinger just to knock this thing out. I feel like it's probably a good idea for me to actually give Stinger the Smoke Ball in this case, because then it can very easily just KO these bombs, assuming they don't blow up. I think the only ones that I think will blow up are the Electrodes when we run into one of those. And I'm probably going to have to frickin' save state up the arse just to get one in a ball. Because as you might expect, this is the only place where you can find them in the wild. Well, I mean, the Pokédex doesn't say that, but again, I think I've mentioned that a bit earlier just by saying that it's awesome that it doesn't show off that they're in the wild, to just hide the fact that they are just sort of hidden as item balls, which is pretty cool. Now that obviously is another Voltorb or something like that. I believe if I head over in this direction... Oh, well, there's a Magneton, so I can at least try to catch this. Throw that save state in slot 3. Just keep throwing Rock Smashes, I guess. Yeah, that should be fine. Any defense drops will be nice, because I can get the attack down, the defensive HP down quicker. Alright, that should be about right. Stupid Thunder Wave. I really hope that that does not hit Slumborg when I switch it back in, because I very much like to put this thing to sleep without too many hitches. Oh no, never mind. We're just going to get paralyzed. And there's really no point in healing it, because it could very easily just use Thunder Wave again and render the full heal a complete waste. So there's Lock On. I don't believe it gets Zap Cannon naturally, so I don't have to worry about copping that to the face. So let's see how many balls it's going to take for me to get this thing snaffled. Thankfully 1. I'm actually glad. I thought the LP curse was going to take effect on me there. Thankfully that was not the case. So that's Magneton out of the way. Throw a save state in slot 3. Yep, it's just the crummy old Voltorb. Throw a strength at it. That should just do the trick. I've got enough offensive strength, so that'll do the trick quite nicely. I think there's just another item down here somewhere. I think normally there's actually 2 of them. One of them is a bomb and the other one's an actual item. So I just keep save stating before checking each one of these out, because I would like to leave at least one of these hidden Voltorbs active, just because I might want to at some point in the future maybe soft reset and get a shiny one. Not that I would actually really commit myself to that goal. I don't know, just because I feel like it for the sake of, I don't know. I want to, because fuck it. So at this stage, like, the problem I have is that Grimers in this area are at level 33, which means if I set up a repel here, I wouldn't be repelling off the Grimers, and they're probably going to be the most common one. Yeah, for some reason Joey has basically committed to using his Rattata and absolutely nothing else, and normally in playthroughs like this he would evolve it into Eradicate, but here he just didn't. I did hit the rematch with him with the 7 badge rematch, and he still has it as a Rattata. It's level 28, it's just a Rattata. So I get the impression that it is probably going to be like incredibly busted. It cannot possibly when I get the 16 badges. Thankfully it won't be the fear strategy, because Endeavor doesn't exist in this generation, but it might be something else that's just really stupid. Anyway, I know for a fact this one is an Electrode, so we save state beforehand, and hopefully this thing does not nuke itself. I'm sure this thing will probably be packing self-destruct at the very least. Yeah, there's self-destruct. Okay, so we're going to reload that. So now would be a lovely time to have the damp ability on something, but abilities sadly do not exist in this. I'm alright with it spamming rollout, actually, because that means it's not going to blow up. What is strength going to do? That works, I suppose. I might just start lobbing Pokeballs and hopefully nab this thing. Yeah, I don't think rollout's going to do a whole lot. It's running off of the weaker attacking stat. And immediately break out. Oh, yeah, I forgot. Criticals are a thing. Okay, sweet. This is working out far better than I would have expected it to. So it may actually be worth listening to all the bloody screaming kids in the background just to have some good commentary on a segment for once. And, jeez. That was obnoxiously loud. What is this? I never actually checked this, because it might be another Voltorb or something like that, but we're about to find out. It is a Max Elixir. A card that is about to rotate out of the standard format into Pokemon TCG, and I will be sad for it because I'm running it in Buzzwall. And this one I know for it as a fact, and most people will know if they know where random items are located. It is indeed a Thunder TM. So that's that for free, and not having to wait until I get 8 badges to get one. Not that I expect that I'll be using it, because I'm decidedly going to be going for Thunderbolt on something if I'm going to be teaching any of those particular tutor moves, but, eh. So you can apparently find Pichu in here, so I kind of wonder whereabouts I'd, like, kind of wonder if there's, like, a specific time of the day that I can find it. It seems like Raichu only appears at night. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I seem to be finding Magnetons here as opposed to said Raichus. This is a TM7. What actually does that teach? It is Zap Cannon. Okay. Because normally you'd come in here, it'd be occupied by people, there'd be a machine, it wouldn't be working, you'd have to go and get a machine part, you'd give it to the old dude, and he will give you a Zap Cannon TM. Or Charge Beam if you're playing Gen 4. Obviously that's different now because they reinstalled the old, ye old dungeon type power plant, and so they just decided to stick it there somewhere. So I'm okay with that. And that's an electrode, which we don't have to have anything to do with, so I'm going to just reload the save state there and bugger off. No. You did not register when I pressed down. You were supposed to do that. Okay, so this, I imagine, is going to be a bomb. And it is indeed a Voltorb. Just the fact that that electrode's there makes me not quite as saddened about killing this Voltorb. And before this just turns out to be an electrode. Nope, another item. Carbos! That's more money at least. Overall, I'm pretty glad I at least was able to catch some kind of Pokemon in the wild here. What are you? TM41. What do you do? You're Thunder Punch, aren't you? I'm pretty sure that's Thunder Punch. I won't complain about a free Thunder Punch TM. I guess that makes me wonder if I can actually find an Ice Punch TM in the Seafoam Islands. And as a result, a Fire Punch TM in the mansion. Now, what is this? Another Thunderstone. That's quite lovely. That's just more money for me because I don't need them. So there you go. So emerging out here brings you out here, you go up here, and there's Zapdos, which I'm not going to be going after because it outlevels me by a considerable amount, and unlike the shiny Primate from a few segments ago, that thing is exceedingly difficult to catch, as you might expect. So, I believe that will be about it for this segment. I managed to get a few random bits and pieces out of the way off to start things off. Went through Power Plant as I expected. Honestly, I don't think there's any real reason for me to do Rock Tunnel. I'm not gonna do Seafoam Islands or Cinnabar Mansion. I might hold off on those until after I get the 8th badge and knock over the league, just so I have some like material to just break up the second set of gym leaders. So I imagine I'm probably just gonna go back to some Kanto gym, knock them over, and get my 8th badge. It's probably going to be... It might be the Pewter gym, actually. Actually, no, that's a short one. Whatever, I'll decide. I'm not going to put a poll up for it or anything like that. What I will show off, though, because I just remembered it, is if we go into this little place here, we go up here, and then we go up here. I quite enjoy that. That's pretty good. There's actually one other thing I want to show off as well. That's down in New Cinnabar. And then I'll bring the segment to a close. Here we go. Just got to go over to the lab here. And then we do this. It's pretty useless, but whatever. I figured I might as well show it off. It's somewhat enjoyable. And as I was about to close the segment out there, I just remembered that there was something else. So we're going to go past 25 minutes, but it's okay. Because it's just some dumb stuff. This next place is going to take us to Mount Mortar. I'm going to go ahead and put up a rappel. I imagine that the time I spend putting up this rappel, I probably will have blown less time running into wild Pokemon, but whatever. But if we go up here and just sort of interact with a bookcase of some variety. Zing! And whenever you examine these bookcases again, it just says it's full of difficult books. And I think there's one other little thing you can do with in relation to that, and that is to look in the trash can and find that the book is still in there. So apparently you just threw it from where you were. It somehow managed to go upstairs and into the trash can on the upper floor. So yeah, that's pretty good. Next time I'm going to be smashing out a gym, and then that's probably going to be about it, as more stuff that I order on eBay gets posted. So good news all around. I'm feeling better. I'm buying shit. It's getting posted, and this playthrough is still going on, and it's a pretty good segment to boot as well. Alright, see you next time.